Welcome you two to mediation. My name's Connor. I'm going to be your mediator today. You can call me Connor, obviously. First, we're going to start off by getting acquainted with each other. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so how would you like us to address you?
Sam's okay for me.
Okay. And you?
You can call me Sunny.
I'd like to thank you both for choosing to do mediation. By choosing mediation, you both hold power in determining what the solution is. If no solution can be made here today, the option to going to court will stand. If you go to court, the solution will not be in your hands any longer. So I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that you be able to come to a solution today. I've been a mediator for 10 years now, since I graduated from Cambridge, and I've resolved over 1,000 disputes during my time as a mediator. It is my job as a mediator to facilitate communication between the two of you and assist both of you in reaching a mutually agreeable solution. Today, we'll be resolving some issues that you both have concerning parking. During the course of this mediation, there will be no favoritism. Both of you get the exact same amount of time to voice your concerns and your opinion of the situation. We'll all work together to reach a mutually agreeable solution. First of all, I'm going to set down some ground rules. Let the other person speak when it's their turn, all right? No interrupting at all, okay? Any kind of abusive language or behavior like that will not be tolerated. Any information shared in this meeting is going to be strictly confidential. Nobody's going to tell anything that you say in this meeting to anybody outside, all right? As I said earlier, I will remain neutral and impartial throughout the duration of this session. And if at any point I feel that it would be beneficial to call a private meeting, a caucus with either of you, I'll do so. Are you guys both ready to begin? If so, let's proceed. Okay, so first off, we're going to flip a coin to determine the order of speaking here. Sam, you're going to be tails. Sunny, you'll be heads. So it's heads. Sunny, you'll go ahead and begin.
Alright, so we live in a neighborhood where it's only street parking. Like, no one really has parking spaces. So my neighbor seems to think that his lawn is a driveway. I've been parking there ever since, I've moved in, which was like 8 months ago, before he was there. And when there's a car like in my spot, I go to the nearest space available, which sometimes, is in front of his house. But that particular day, only part of my car was in front of his house. But what's really ridiculous is that he seems to believe that his lawn is a double car driveway, which is ridiculous because it's just a lawn. So I think he should have to pay for my towing expenses, and he should park along the street just like everyone else, just like what that neighborhood is zoned for.
And you feel as though he should pay for your expenses?
Yeah, of course he should pay. He should even pay for all the Ubers that I had to take while I didn't have my car, and it was a lot of money, so I expect him to pay every single penny of it.
What do you figure is the exact amount of money that he owes you for your expenses and costs?
Oh, I've got all the receipts. As you can see, I paid $200 for the initial towing, and then it was an extra $50 for each day it was there, which was there for 2 days. And like I mentioned, the Ubers, it was I want to say $70. So I want him to pay for all my expenses.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'm done. You can go ahead and hear his side.
All right, Sam, go ahead and begin.
Okay, well, first of all, it's my property, it's my lawn. I should be able to use it as a driveway if I want, and she should respect that. She's been parked on my spot many times before. I've left notes.
Okay, first of all, that note was just plain useless. You could have came and knocked on my door and confronted me like a real man.
Please don't interrupt Sam when he's talking, Sonny.
Sorry.
All right, Sam, go ahead and continue.
I've warned her to not park there. She doesn't listen. So last time I called the towing company, she towed it, and she has to pay for that mistake.
please remember there will be no name calling of any sort, and remember to direct your comments towards me. Sam, what exactly do you want to gain out of this mediation?
Honestly, at this point, all I want is a verbal apology for her being rude, and then her giving me a written agreement that she won't park there on my spot anymore.
You've been costing me money.
Okay, guys, I feel like we're going in circles here. We need to take a break. I'm going to go ahead and have a private meeting with Sunny to begin with. Sam, could you please wait in the hall while we do this real quick? So while you're in the hallway, Sam, I want you to make brainstorm a list of possible solutions that you think would be appropriate for this situation, and then when we bring you back in, we'll talk about those.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, thanks, Sam. As I explained earlier, everything said during a caucus is going to remain confidential. I'd just like to begin with you explaining a little bit more. It seems like you got a little upset. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, so I just feel like it's not fair that I have to pay all this money all because I parked on the street. Like, yeah, that part of the street happened to be in front of his house, but since when is it illegal to park in front of someone's house, you know? So, yeah, I was unfairly towed, and now I have to pay for it, or I did pay for it, I want to be reimbursed. And that particular day, my car was only partly in front of his car. It wasn't even my full car blocking his his lawn. I was blocking his lawn, basically. That street honestly has this kind of unwritten rule where, yeah, you just park in front or near by your house. Everyone kind of knows, like, oh yeah, that car belongs to that house, that type of thing. So, you know, what makes him so special? He should park on the street just like all of us. I mean, we're not parking on our lawns.
Right. So there's no specific boundaries.
Exactly. And he's trying to create them, which is ridiculous.
And did you say there was any signs in front of the house that designated parking spot?
No, it's just street parking. And I actually talked to the chief executive of zoning for that neighborhood, and he told me, he looked up that house and the specs or whatever, and he said that lawn doesn't qualify or doesn't meet the standards and regulations of a driveway. So honestly, I could take him to court, but I'm a college student, so I can't afford to, and I don't have the time for it, so that's why I'm here. And I know all this is confidential, but I don't mind you telling him that the information I found from the chief executive of our zoning in our area.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so you're okay with me sharing with him the information that you met with the chief zoning executive in your neighborhood, and he informed you that his lawn didn't meet the requirements to be considered a driveway?
Yes, and I spoke to him on the phone, but I have the email confirmation of all that.
All right, I feel like we're making some progress here. Is there anything else you'd like to add before I have a meeting with Sam?
No, that was everything.
Okay, I'm gonna have you go and send him in, and while you're out in the hallway, would you make a list of potential solutions that you think would be appropriate for the situation? We'll compare and contrast you and Sam's solutions when we come back in.
All right.
All right, thank you. Welcome back, Sam. All right, so this part of the mediation is a private meeting between the two of us. Anything you tell me, I'm not going to be, telling Sunny. This is a part of the mediation where we can kind of explore different possibilities and bring in some information that might not get introduced otherwise. So, is there anything that you'd like to, debrief or comment about? All right, Sam, I understand that you want to do what you please with your property. Sunny actually wanted me to let you know that she spoke with someone from the Department of Zoning for your specific neighborhood and was told that your property's driveway doesn't actually meet the standards or regulations for being considered a driveway.
Oh, I didn't know that. This whole situation is just getting out of hand. It's way too time consuming. I've been having to take off work, and if I have to go to court, it's going to create way too many issues. At this point, I am willing to negotiate.
All right. So if there's nothing further, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring her back in. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Awesome. All right. So before you each began your caucus, I told you to write down a list of potential solutions. Sunny, I'll have you begin.
Alrighty. Well, I want to stick with what I had originally laid out. I want him to pay for my towing expenses and for my Uber costs.
Okay, and we decided the costs were approximately $370. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And each piece of that cost is $200 for the towing, $50 for each night at the impound yard, and $70 for Uber drivers, correct?
That is indeed correct.
Okay. And Sam, what are your thoughts about this solution?
So my main thing for my concern is I need a written agreement that she will not park in my spot anymore. In light of hearing about the zoning regulations and her position, I am willing to pay part for her towing expenses to just the $200 where I called and she got towed, but I'm not gonna pay for the extra $100 because she left her car in the impound, and I'm not gonna pay for the Ubers because she could have prevented that by getting her car early.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I'll agree to that, and I won't park in front of his lawn anymore.
So Sam, you expect Sunny to stop parking on your property effective immediately, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Okay. And Sunny, when would you expect Sam to have paid you by?
As long as it's no later than 2 weeks,
I can have it in 10 days if that works.
that works for me.
Excellent. I'll write up the agreement.
Whatever.
Here's the written agreement I've written for you guys. It details our settlement that we just came to, and it's been a pleasure working with you guys. Another successful mediation.